What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you some more facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. This time we are talking about yet another fan chapter. This one is called The Agents of Fortune, and this one was actually sent to us by one of our viewers. I don't know if he wants to be known or not, so if you do want to be known, just let yourself be known in the comments below. Also, guys, we're all here to try to improve our lore, so any criticism is encouraged down in the comments below. So let him know how he can improve, what you guys liked about it, and overall, just let him know how it is. And without further ado, let's jump into this lore. This tome currently contains all known information on the Agents of Fortune Space Marine chapter. The founding. The Agents of Fortune are a recently formed chapter whose founding has not yet been pinpointed, though it is accepted that the chapter is relatively new. With permission of the High Lords of Terra, Captain and now Chapter Master Antonio Maximus of the Ultramarines was allowed to form his own successor chapter. Some say that it was due to his quick rise through squad and rank. Others say it was because of the fact that he became the only surviving heir of a successful rogue trader dynasty, making him the master of all money and power that comes with it when his grandfather passed away. Still, others say that it was because despite his valor and bravery in battle against the enemies of the Emperor and the usual indoctrination, his personality was over the top and his rogue trader roots were too strong in him. In reality, it was a combination of all three. In the High Lords' minds, they would have a loyal Space Marine chapter with the added power and resources of an extremely wealthy rogue trader dynasty. And while Antonio was always strong-willed, they believed that he would never act against the best interest of the Imperium. His superiors and brothers were notably relieved to be rid of what they viewed to be a misfit, albeit a strong and loyal misfit. Their battle cry is, "Fortune favors the just." The chapter colors consist of orange, black, and gold and silver. The chapter symbol is the mark of Kronos, a cross with a hook on the bottom. And now onto the lore behind their chapter master, Antonio Maximus. Antonio Maximus's birth parents are now deceased, their rogue trader fleet destroyed by a Tyranid splinter fleet. He was to be raised by his grandfather Bartholomew. Bartholomew, leader of an extremely successful rogue trader dynasty and a devoted ally to the Imperium, gave the boy up to be raised as an initiate of the Ultramarines. Speculation is that this was less out of patriotism and more out of spite for the boy, being that he was an offspring of his failed son and daughter-in-law. Though his heroic deeds in the face of the Emperor's enemies and unusual personality for a Space Marine made him popular with his peers, his superiors were constantly at odds with the lack of self-control in both action and personality. Antonio's tendency to put the well-being of his subordinates, battle brothers, and civilians over orders that he deemed ridiculous or the success of a mission was a constant source of frustration for the Space Marines in general. He reveres his grandfather despite what most would see his abandonment for his acts of heroism in the name of the Emperor. The Maximus dynasty is known for aiding the liberation of worlds, shipment of important supplies, and even evacuation and protection of citizens of besieged planets, though they have been known to cooperate with certain Xenos factions when needed, mainly the Tau and the Eldar. Bartholomew is rumored to have turned back an orc invasion by beating their war boss to a drinking and literal pissing match, which is considered by most historians to be a tall tale of sorts. Most accounts describe Antonio as an understanding servant of the Emperor and good-natured individual despite what they perceive as his flaws. His heroic deeds consist of rescuing a senator's son, the retrieval of important artifacts, heretic smiting, and demon slaying, and these are to be expanded upon in Tales of Badassery, the Maximus Chronicles, and Autobiography. Homeworld. They are thought to be fleet-based by most, but those with privileged knowledge know that they indeed have a homeworld with a fortress monastery on the eastern fringes, otherwise known to be Tau Space, formerly known as Campesino 6. before being liberated from the Tau Empire by the Agents of Fortune. Now it is known as Aesop's Rock. Their fleet consists of 3 battle barges, the Reaper, the Shikari, and the cathedral ship known as Astronomy. Bartholomew's Wanderlust is an undocumented ship in the fleet, and Antonio's personal vessel. Gene Seed is that of the Ultramarines, and it is quite stable. Recruitment. They draw recruits from worlds that the chapter has liberated. Sometimes they hire some recruits from elite soldiers hailing from Krieg and Catachan. Capability. They are never found wanting in resources, recruits, vehicles, or hardware, and this is due very much in part to Antonio's inheritance. Their strategy is balance. They pride themselves on being ready for anything at any time. They are known for world liberating, chaos hunting, artifact hunting, and they are self-described as rocking the fuck out and busting heretic skulls. They are Codex compliant. Well, mostly adherent. Their fleet consists of 1 more than the standard 3 battle barges, though this is not common knowledge. The Imperial Religion and worshipped heroes. They do not worship the Emperor as a god. They revere him for the pinnacle of humankind that he was, and being that all humans should strive to become. They revere Bartholomew as an example of a true citizen guardian of the Imperium for his heroic deeds over multiple conflicts. Though they may not be rigid in their ways as the Ultramarines are, they do celebrate their origin chapter and their father Primarch, Robute Gilliman. They do listen and collect to music from ancient Holy Terra, referred to as rock, metal, and other strange sounds. Chapter Attitude towards Xenos. As long as they know their place in the galaxy and they do not stand against or in the way of our progress, nor endanger our species, then they shall not be harmed. All who walk in the Emperor's light shall he protect. Antonio Maximus. It is believed that Antonio's willingness to work with Xenos is due to his rogue trader roots, having been in the presence of them as a small child, witnessing numerous family dealings with the Xenos. The chapter flaws. Their reputation is flashy. They must be noticed. They are known to loudly broadcast what they believe are ancient hymns via skull orator servitors, as they float through and over the battlefield or marching formations. Their reputation for over-the-top actions often makes them heroes. They do have a willingness to put the well-being of innocents before the completion of a mission, and their willingness to work with Xenos in extreme conditions is often seen as a negative, which they see as a positive. Notable feats. The response to a distress signal from the Tau planet known as Campesino 6. This call was answered mostly due to the fact that, according to Antonio, no being aside from Tyranids and the foulest Xeno scum should have to endure the fate that is the forces of chaos butt-fucking their world and its inhabitants into oblivion. The Tau had fought bravely for Xenos, to the last of their warriors, the survivors consisting of non-combat worthy workers and adolescents who locked themselves in the only tacked bunker in a useless attempt at staying off death. With their auto-defenses failing, and death seemingly prepared to murder fist its way through the blast doors, all seemed lost in the minds of the frightened Tau. It was then that over the banging and writhing of demons and traitors against the door, a noise was heard rising in audibility, a noise very closely resembling music. No music that the Tau had ever heard, nor any of the modern-day Imperium for that matter. Terran historians who hold knowledge on the subject would recognize it as AC/DC's Thunderstruck, a favorite of the Agents of Fortune. In the end, they allowed the surviving Tau to leave the planet unmolested and immediately undertook the task of refortification and preparation for human colonization. This planet has forever been known as Aesop's Rock. And bam, that is the end of the lore of the Agents of Fortune. What did you guys think? Yeah, this stuff was pretty different from what I'm normally used to reading, and I thought it was pretty cool. Having them listen to AC/DC was pretty funny. Pretty awesome, too. I could just imagine them, riding into battle, just blaring freaking AC/DC. But it's pretty cool, though. I like the route he took with the whole Rogue Trader origins. Really awesome stuff there. Since we didn't have any images, I kind of just added some awesome, Space Marine images, just as a filler. but I'd really like to see what these guys look like. So if you're watching this, send us some awesome images, and we might feature them on Facebook or make another lore video if you've got more lore for them coming. For the rest of you guys, let me know if you guys do have your own fan chapter, your own custom legion or whatever, and put it down in the description below. Now, one question that I've been getting a lot from you guys is, how do I go about creating a custom Space Marine chapter? So I will answer that, if not tomorrow, probably on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. I'll give you tips, tricks, insights, and how to make this legion your own. But for now, that's all the time I have. Check us out on Patreon. A simple $1 brings you some extra videos, and it helps support One Mind Syndicate. Also, check us out on Facebook, which we post each and every day, or we try to at least. And we also have a Twitter and a, Snapchat. We don't have a Snapchat, guys. We have a Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So yeah. Also, the winners have been revealed for the 8th edition starter, the Necron starter, and the Dark Eldar starter. So check our video on the Omnissiah, which was posted yesterday, to find out if you're the lucky winner. That's all I got for you guys, so thank you for watching One Mind Syndicate. As always, this is One Mind Syndicate's Sound Alchemist, signing out.